Oh, yeah.
He had a funeral now.
All right, we only gonna be up here for an hour. We 10 minutes late now. All right. What day he said? The 28th.
Y'all.
Hey, peace and blessings, peace, love, and light. Good morning, and welcome to the community conversations. I am Satara, as you all know, or some of you may not know, but I am standing in the gap for Brother Roberts. Everybody keep Brother Roberts lifted in your thoughts. He is taking some time off, and we are just standing in the gap for him. And along with myself, again, I am Satara. I have Brother Rich Jones with me, and then I have Brother Anthony with me as well. Good morning, Kings. How are you all? Wonderful. So this morning we have a few things to talk about because there's a lot going on, right? Brother Anthony, I want to start out with something positive because you have a program that you want to talk about, right?
Yeah, we actually it's a summit. We want to have the first No More Violence Summit.
Okay.
To address all of our issues collectively, so we can try to get this violence to just no more, not stop. Because when you stop something, it has a tendency to start back up again. So we want to just go deeper to the origin of what is really going on. Why are we doing what we're doing to ourselves? Why are we doing what we're doing to each other? I'm extremely, at just disturbed because we had an incident that happened like right down the street, just the other day. And so when that starts to happen, although it happened everywhere around the city, but to have it happen like 2 blocks down the street.
You know what's so crazy is DeJuan and I had literally just left. And that's the way I passed right there. We literally just left. And I hadn't even made it home and the police had passed me by, right?
Yeah.
Just flying past me by. We had just left. DeJuan and I had just left.
Wow. Yeah, it's the program, that's the program that we're going into is it's a conjugative program we want to set up where people of all ages, because it's not a generation thing, it's not an age thing, because you got even the elderly people is doing some things that violence, and they're setting like it's like an example to like the younger children. When they see it, they emulate it. One of the main issues that we have right now is communication. We don't know how to address each other when we get upset with each other.
Right.
And I can speak from my own personal experience because these are things that I went through and I had to learn. I had to redirect my thought process. Because we all can change and we need to change. We have to change like right now because this is every day. It's a fatality in our city every day
or more.
Yeah, or more than one. And I had a conversation with a young man last night. I actually helped him diffuse the situation. And what led to it was the toxic from, drugs, alcohol. Violence has been sensationalized in our country. It has been sensationalized. It has been approved through, the music, television, movies, the genre just goes on and on and on. And now it has gotten to a point to where, especially us, we're like immune to it. We don't see the travesty of it. Like the brother just got off the radio, he said he's on his way to a funeral. I went to a funeral, 2 funerals. Everybody, it's like it's becoming too trendy. Going to a funeral, not saying, hey, we're going to our friends gathering, birthday party celebration. We're going, So we're trying to get the program up and running as soon as possible. But the first thing we want to do is try to get the leadership on board because it takes all of us as a community. We have to you can't have this division with the grassroots people not interacting with the, the city, the leaders, and you can't have the street people being hesitant. We all gotta come to the table and address this. This is not the time, it's never been a time for division amongst ourselves.
Yes. Can I intervene a little bit with that? And just to intervene, when we say the street people gotta get together, we mean the street people gotta get together, because there are different street people that are trying to do something, but they're all trying to do something in different directions. If we could just aim those street people to do their stuff together, and then that goes the same for some of the grassroots and also our elected officials. Yeah, everybody got a little bit of good or something, but it's 3 or 4 different directions when it comes to everything.
We gonna touch right back on that, but we gonna touch on it. I don't have to continue with your program real quick, but we gonna put a pin in that. We coming right back to that, Rich. Right back to that.
But getting back to the program, like I said, we want to start off with the summit. And as the brother was saying, the summit is for everybody. Those who are, whatever your position is, if you're the head of whatever, street, city, you need to be at this summit.
When do you plan to hold the summit?
We're working, I gotta give it to Juan, we're gonna try to work that out and hash that out. We wanna have it hopefully we wanted to have it around by the end of this month, but with different things going on, we're gonna try to get it together, and then we wanna let everybody know, reach out, get everybody on board so we can come to the table at this summit and have this conversation, and then implement this program, starting off with conjugate thinking rehab. We have to start addressing, our issues of drugs, drug abuse, mental health, anger. We got some work to do, but it can be done though. So we're going to put the program together. It's going to be a lot of literature, and we're going to try to get some videos as well, promote and try to have them it's sort of like how we have this barrage of violence culture. We're going to turn it around, and we want to come from a positive standing of just, love each other day, hug each other day, talk to each other day, treat each other better day, all that type. And it's just going to be a ongoing thing, same as with this violence jargon. We're going to do the positive jargon.
So with that being said, you touched on mental health and drugs and that. Do you have maybe a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or someone in one of those outreach programs that are going to be involved in this as well?
Yes.
Because especially when you're dealing with mental health, it's not a lot that like you and I per se can do with that, especially when it comes to that. Because sometimes, as much as you don't want to say that people need to be medicated, sometimes they do have it's an imbalance somewhere, and it has to happen, unfortunately. But even the ones that won't necessarily need to be medicated in that, just have just the professional angle on some things that we don't know, we are not trained in handling, because that's a lot of the issues there. Because I don't think we take mental health as serious as we should in the Black community, because it's usually we Black, we don't do that, and or when people reach out, and sometimes people have the tendency to say that they just want attention. Yeah, they do, because they need it, and that attention it's an outcry. It's a cry out for help, and they don't know another way to do it besides that. And then we are making it worse by saying we Black, we don't do that. Because if somebody say they're having a hard time, and they need to, they don't know what to do, they want somebody to listen or whatever, and they say, I'm just thinking about ending it all. And we Black, we don't do that. Stop talking like that. Get yourself together. It's not that easy. For some people, it's not that easy. Some people, it is as easy as saying, kind of shake it off. Some people can cry about it for a few minutes and then be like, All right, I released it, I let it go, let's get it.
Yeah, some people.
But other people, when they get down in there, they down in there, and they just dig deeper and deeper and deeper.
Mhm.
And that is, that can kill you.
Yeah, it can, depression,
That's
is
real.
that, it's funny you say that because, they say that we don't do this, we don't do that because we black, and that's just so far from the truth. It's a false pride thing. If you're human, it doesn't matter if black, white, or whatever. If you're a human being, you got emotions, you got feelings, you got thoughts, you go through things, you go through depression, so to say that, we don't do that, that's a false pride thing, but let's take it to a real pride thing by having the people come to, the leadership that needs to be at this summit first and foremost.
Absolutely.
So we can get, as you stated, the professionals' opinions, get the professional resources and help to get these programs concreted and up and running to help ourselves and help our people in a much larger way, because that's where it begins and that's where it ends, which is the thought. As the saying goes, the thought is the cause of it all.
Right.
So if you're dealing with, mental issues, as we all are, nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. I'll be the first one to tell you that.
We all got PTSD.
Right. Just from the trauma of the things that we have, so many people nowadays are not aware, especially the young generation. And then, the older generation, see, I can look at the younger generation now and be like, you know what? They're dealing with, as you said, post-traumatic stress, but they don't know how. They're crying out.
Absolutely.
And so they turn to these false narratives of what life is or what they think reality is through these, subliminal messages through music and TV and stuff like that. And that's not, like I said, violence has been sensationalized. And that is, man, we gotta turn it around because that's not, but we on track. Like I said, things been busy, and as soon as I get with DeJuan, we gotta iron some things out and get some dates and stuff set up, and hopefully everybody that's listening now, like I said, the leadership needs to be at this No More Violence Summit as soon as we set the date, and we can get the services and the programs set up from there.
All right, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that actually sounds like a great way to get some things started, like some real conversations and some real help.
Action.
So not just conversation, because you know what, we've been conversing about a lot of things, right? So not just conversation, but it's just putting some action to it, but maybe not the action in the street, but some behind the scenes, dealing with mental health is an issue. I think that a lot of times we wanna deal with certain issues, but we won't get to the root. And I think the root a lot of times is the mental.
Yeah, getting to the root is, like you said, you gotta admit, you have to admit. You have to admit that you need help. You have to admit that you want help, you need help, and that you have some issues, and instead of trying to hold it in until you just have an episode. I think that's also is contributing to a lot of the violence that we have right now going on through our city. People is holding things in, dealing with things, and they don't know how to, express or, relieve themselves from it. So, yeah.
So, I've said this a million times, about me playing sports. So when I was playing basketball, and my varsity coach, shout out to Yvette Flippin, she used to have this, like, if we had an issue or we had some problems with each other, whatever, we used to have, Saturdays we would get in this circle, we get in this big circle, and she called it a bitch session, right? And that was where you hashed it out with the person that you had an issue with, or whatever problems, whatever, right?
Like that.
You couldn't move, you couldn't get up, you couldn't nothing. You had to sit there. You didn't say what you want to say, right? And it was the way to hash things out. And what I found out, and just being in that, but I was young, right? But when I was young, which helped me in my adult life, but what I found out was that it was always a misunderstanding or some miscommunication. Always. It always was misunderstanding or miscommunication. Because somebody will say A and B happened, and the person that you're saying A and B happened to is like, what? I don't even know what A and B is. I was at W and X.
Right.
See that big old gap? I mean, like a huge gap, and it was just like, and everybody, it always ended up being a misunderstanding, miscommunication, or no communication at all, right? That ended up being this big old thing, and it's just like that game of telephone you used to play. Somebody told somebody, and somebody told somebody else. Now somebody embellished it along the way, and then somebody else omitted something along the way, and so when you get it, it's a whole different story, right?
Right.
Some of them stories probably not even a little bit of truth in it, not even a little bit, because all that got lost.
Right.
And that's what ends up happening. Now, in some other instances, I said A and B happened, and they said, yeah, A and B happened, but it happened because of this, right? And it was always something else to it. No matter. However, it's just the point that the communication happened, and whether you ended up squashing it and being okay with the person, or squashing it and just saying fuck it. It is what it is.
Right. And that's
It's a thing that can happen.
Yeah, it happens just like that. And you know what, if we go back even further through the course of history, one of the things that was somewhat embedded in us was self-hate. You know, they used to put us against each other. And as I look at some of these narratives of these TV shows, the violence is triggered by, as what you just stated. He said, she said, and it's being carried out as if that's the end thing to do. That's something cool to do. Start trouble, stir up the pot, get things, you know, and then let's have this big old fight and fallout. They making it like it's entertainment. So like I said earlier, violence has been sensationalized now to where it's entertainment, and it's getting to the point now to where it's being accepted. And as they tell us, well, you know, y'all got these issues about when the police do something to y'all, but look at what you're doing to themselves. You know what I'm saying? You're harming, you guys taking ourselves out as well. So why y'all get so upset when we do it, but we do it under the quote of this is our job and I fear for my life, but y'all just doing it as sports and play, or as you just stated out, a simple misunderstanding. I don't like you. I'm jealous of you. I'm envying you.
Well, how do you change the narrative?
How do we change that narrative? We get to the root of it of, hey, simple question in a way, what's your issue, man? You all right? How you feeling today, man? Is something you talk about? Let's talk about some things, man. Is something bothering you? We need to be more healthy, conscious awareness towards each other's mental state, as you pointed out, you know, because you don't know what a person going through until they tell you. And one of the things, like, it starts in the household first and foremost. You know, if you're coming from a household where y'all have these conversations, that's where you first get your communication skills developed, is in the home. Then you go to school, and then you go out into the, you know, so how do we change that narrative socially? We got to have a conversation of, are you all right today? What's on your mind?
I think we also need to change that narrative in the household, because you hit it right there on the conversation in the household, because some of us are still on that old school, what happened in this house, stay in this house.
Yeah.
But
That's rough.
The only reason I asked that was for this standpoint, because I'm seeing what y'all was talking about, everybody with the peace, the Stop the Violence initiative, what they trying to do. How that's really gonna work when you got the elders, you got the so-called activists, the community leaders, or the council people, your church people, not getting along. So how you gonna tell some kids to settle their beef?
To have peace, yeah.
When y'all don't even have y'all, look how dysfunctional, from the mayor to the council, to the activists.
Yeah, and that's everybody have to be on the same accord. That's a valid point, because this summit that we're trying to have is for that purpose, to where she stated, let's have this circle. Let's get our beefs and our hashes out the way so we can get to doing what we need to do to save ourselves and save our community and save our future.
I think what we need to do is concentrate on what we all agree on when it comes to your summit. And I think those need to be the conversations that we hold, because if we get to holding conversations while we don't like nobody, all we're gonna be doing is holding conversations while we don't
Yeah,
like nobody.
right.
So I think we all should get together and we all have a common cause, and we need to come together on that. We don't need to be coming together thinking about how you feel about the vaccination, or how you feel about this politician, or none of that. It should all be about getting this together.
Right.
And that's what it should be about.
Yeah, because-
But they want to change the narrative, so we need to start with keeping the narrative on getting everything together on according to what you got set up, far as this go, far as the literature, far as getting the help afterwards. All that's only the conversation that needs to be held. It should not be no, and then because of this, either they're gonna join in and boost it or they're not.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
And if you start trying to come to agreement with somebody that's determined, because some of these people are determined not to get you to where, and it's sad because you're trying to do something to help the community, but they ain't looking at it like that. They looking at it at a super personal level, and they would try to stop you from getting to where you're trying to go, which is help all these people because of their agenda.
Right.
And it's ridiculous.
And it's not about
that.
You're right. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's not about no one individual, personal. None of this should be personal about anything. Like, cause I'm gonna ask you a simple question. Look, why you don't like me? If you look in the mirror, I look like you. We got too much in common. Why you don't like me? Why would you not like me? If I ain't never done nothing to you, I ain't never, like I said, it's personal BS. We don't, like I said, I agree with you. We ain't got time for that. Let's just stay the course. Let's get this summit, because my main goal, and I think all of our main goals, is we got a future generation that if we don't, do what we supposed to do right now, what do you think we're doing to them? We got to give them every opportunity, every chance to have a peaceful community, a peaceful life, a blessed life, a prosperous life. We owe that to them. So people in my age, or like you said, these elder people, man, you look, man, we done had our time now. So let's
Please say that again.
Once you reach a certain age, and you know what I'm saying, it's not about you.
It's
It's not about you. It's not about you. I don't understand. I get it, but I don't get it, because when you say that you for your community, you for your people, it ain't nothing about you. It's about sacrifice. You sacrifice yourself. That's what we have to start doing, sacrificing ourselves for the common goal of all of us.
So with that being said, as far as that, I think that we have to be unified in these things that we're doing, right? So just as Mickey said, we have too many entities that are separate and all over the place, right? And when I say all over the place, it's not even thought out. It's just, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna make a shirt about it, and I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna go to this place, and because I want the news to come and see me, or I want the cameras to come and see me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like exactly what you said. If we all can't come together, and we can't get it together, and we can't be unified, we can't show them anything, because they are sponges, right? They're gonna feed off exactly what we give them. It's just like a little 2-year-old. If a 2-year-old see you peeing in the corner, and he learning how to go to the bathroom, and he watching you pee in the corner, he not gonna go to the bathroom, he gonna go pee in the corner. And he's gonna continue to pee in the corner. And why not? He doing it. This must be okay. So they see us out here beefing, and they see us out here doing all of this stuff, and it's gonna be the exact same thing.
And
For instance,
the media, let me say something. The media is also a part of the division, because it's certain people that does certain things that get all kinds of cameras, and it's certain people that does all kinds of things that get no camera.
but I can't put that on the media though, right?
That's somebody that's directing them. And
Thank you. That's not it. Yeah, I can't put it
because
on the media.
they have a meeting. They have all of them, especially the Flint Circle, because I've been blackballed before, so I know what time it is. What they do, they have a meeting every day. And then at that meeting, they decide where they're gonna disperse all of their reports to. And when you have things like, I have like my zero balance all water accounts, and you got the council president saying it can't be done, you got the mayor talking about make arrangements, and it's 600 people that ain't paid their water bill in a year, but yet we're gonna have this protest this Monday, and there will be no news media there. That's because of the way that they communicate in that meeting. They're gonna tell them you cannot cover that event.
Well, yeah, so that's my point. It's not the news media. I can't point the finger and blame the news media. It's the people that's behind it, that's asking them to do that, or paying them to do that, or demanding them to do that. Either way, I can't say that they're being paid, but they could be. Money talk. Bullshit run a marathon. I'm just saying, it could be that. It could be because you in this position of power and you abusing it, and you giving out direction and saying you can't do this and you can't do this, or you don't get this and you don't get that. It happens, and it happens everywhere. It don't just happen in the community. It happen on Wall Street. It happen in blue collar places, white collar places. It happens, right? But the thing about it is that we are in this community and we are dealing with something already. We 7 years into this whole water bull crap, right? And we can't get it together on this end. Here's my thing with the people in leadership and us as activists and things like that. Here's my thing about it. Why aren't we upset about that enough to put all this other shit aside? Because that's the bigger picture, right? Because at the end of the day, this is still hurting our children. This is still killing our children. They are still suffering from this whole, okay, that was 7 years ago. So them kids that was 7 years ago are now older and still dealing with some issues because of this lead. That is a problem. We can't come together and we can't get it together for this bigger picture. Hold on, Rich. We 7 years into this. You feel me? You trying to do something about this water. You trying to do something about the violence. But the bigger thing is that we all want to be separated and we can't come together on one thing. And that one thing is the biggest thing. It's huge. It's huge. It's a mess. We can't have Black Lives Matter over here. We can't have ceasefire over here, and who the hell else over here doing all of that. And I'm not coming over here because I don't like you because you supported Weaver. I'm not coming over here because I don't like you because you supported Neely. I don't like you because you support Eric Mays. I don't like you because you support AC Dumas. I don't like you because you support Kate Fields. You get what I'm saying? I don't understand that. So my thing about this is that these ones that are doing that, and these ones are just all of a sudden coming out the woodworks and busting out shirts and going to these places. Y'all, listen, y'all going to these places that's not even relevant. And you going at a time of the day that don't even mean nothing. What you going to a club at noon for? Ain't nobody there. That don't make sense to me. If you really gonna put down some work, go where it's at. Go in there at midnight, not at 12 in the afternoon. That's silly. It's silly. And then it's silly to even think that the people that's even causing the problems are in there. It don't happen in there, it's outside. So stay your ass outside, because that's where it's happening at. So you going in there and you want to cut it down and cut the music down and hold a little kumbaya in the middle of it. Meanwhile, out in the parking lot, shit wreaking havoc. Stupid. It's stupid. It's absolutely dumb. And I personally, listen, I don't care who it is. If Dewan told me that, I say, listen here. I'm with you when I'm with you, but I ain't when I ain't. And I'm not going to that. And that's my man, $100,000. When y'all see him, y'all 9 times out of 10 see me, right? If he told me that we was gonna do something like that, I'm like, bro, you tripping. We not, what? You know better than that.
But is they really here to help? Is they really gonna stop is you really with the people?
That's my point. It's not, what is it doing? Here's the thing, that whole ceasefire thing, listen, I get it. ceasefire. Yep, we want a ceasefire, right? We want to do that. But come on, April and Jeff, what is we doing at noon?
Can
At Rules, that's silly.
Yeah, that's silly, but
It's silly.
let me save them a little bit. I was talking to young men, and they said what was lacking is consistency. So what I'm saying about consistency is they do this ceasefire because it's a shooting, it's a hot topic. These people want to see you. What's today? Saturday. They want to see you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Well, how's that
Friday,
saving them,
Saturday. I'm just saying.
You said let me save them a
No,
little bit. How's that saving?
I'm trying to let them know it's a little bit. So I ain't really saving them, but
I'm
trying to let them
trying
know
to figure out what you
that
mean. I ain't
these
trying to
people-
save them. What you mean?
these people, they're looking for consistency. So they're not looking for you to pop up and do something because it's a hot topic and you get your little photo ops or whatever y'all agenda is. It got to be something, because my homeboy wanted to go there and speak at 11:30 at night, and he wasn't allowed to speak, but Mr. Hawkins was. And I feel that in that situation, that just like if I walk down there right now and I said I wanted to say something at 12 o'clock, how much y'all bet I wouldn't be able to say nothing?
But here's the thing, and then I'm back on, but I'm still on that. You going in there at 12 o'clock, ain't nobody in there. They drunk already. Right?
They alcoholics and they there at 12.
But my whole thing is they drunk already, and they already in there. So you want to go in there at that time of the night and you want to speak, but you're not speaking to the people that you're supposed to speak to. So listen, so back when I was going into the club, I went there at 11:30. I'm still at home getting dressed. I'm sliding in there at 12:30. I'm sliding to them. It's too early, and who I want to see ain't in there. I'm waiting for the people that I'm waiting to see, and we all sliding in there late. We ain't going in there early.
So how you feel about the ceasefire?
Well, I heard about it. I'm like, if you're making a valid effort and you trying to, change the narrative as we all should be trying to do right now. How you go about it as far as like your timing frame, if that's how you feel, it might be effective. Everybody got their different opinions. My focus, and my understanding about what's going on, because I know what I know from my experience of being in the streets and dealing with both sides of the spectrum when it comes to this violence thing. I've been a victim and I've been a perpetrator. So I'm trying to share my input the best way I can through this platform. Me and Dewan is putting together the No More Violence Summit, first and foremost. And, these people who they're speaking about, they can come. Let's have this conversation. Let's all put our ideas on the table. I'm not really against any genuine idea if it's a feasible idea. I'm listening, time frame, whatever. But anything that's trying to cease fire, stop the violence, no more violence, I'm kind of with it if it's a valid issue and if it's genuine.
See, that's the point I'm trying to make is you gonna as y'all gonna target the youth, because what I'm seeing is they just really going at the elders. If you're not going at the youth, how you gonna stop the ceasefire?
Excuse me. We first and foremost, that is the number one goal, is the youth. We gotta get, because as she pointed out with the 2-year-old, I got a 2-year-old, and she's very it's fun. Whatever they see, they want to emulate.
Mm-hmm.
We got to start with the youth first and foremost. These babies, these children, these pre-K, they got to be the ones that we instill in them the right thought process, how to handle themselves, how to handle when they get upset, how to handle. And we're going to address this generation, younger, and we're going to address, apparently we got to address the older generation, because here we have tit for tat, vanity, false pride, ego, that's ridiculous. That ain't got nothing to do with saving your people and saving your community. If you in it for yourself, your self-interest, which I get, because I also heard that a lot too. Like when she pointed out, we Black, we don't have mental issues. And these people put themselves in these positions where they can get access to this, that, and the third. And then, white collar crime or whatever. And then, well, why you getting mad at me? You wasn't mad when they was doing it. Wait a minute, man. That don't mean you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You sound, that ain't your purpose, man. well, it ain't your purpose. If William said, don't do that.
Mhm.
Don't do that. So, but yeah, we definitely gonna address the youth first and foremost. We have to address the youth first and foremost. That's where we're gonna start this whole campaign of the programs is gonna start with the youth, with the children, with the young, and while me and DeWine gonna be out on the streets in the hood, boots to the ground, dealing with the generation out here in the scat packs.
Right.
I can talk to them because I'm receptible and they're receptible to me because I
Been there.
Yeah.
So my thing with this, let me clarify this.
Let me ask you this question before I forget.
Oh, go for it.
What you done been to a couple of these forums, right?
Yes.
How do you feel about it? The way they're going about it? Honestly.
All right. So honestly, I honestly think that it would be great. It has the potential to be great. However, I think the initiative behind it is not in the right place. I wholeheartedly believe that. If I'm wrong, have a conversation with me and tell me. But I wholeheartedly believe that. And the reason why I say that is because I'm there, right? And when I'm there and I'm sitting and, I'm mouthy, I'm boisterous. I don't have a problem with saying whatever it is I want to say, but I don't. And I sit there and I listen and I catch everything and I feel the vibe. And that's how and I know that that's how those children would do if they were in the same setting. They ain't gonna be saying nothing. They want to feel it out and they want to see. And I do that and I feel it out. And so I'm there and I never say anything, never say a word. Excuse me. And so when you get in there and you hear all these things and it's like, it's not like they're really trying to get to it for real. It's like, I'm out here, this what we about. And then like, so for instance, like you can ask a question and you will ask a question, you don't get an answer to it. They'll tap dance all around it, but don't answer the question, right? And I've been to like a couple of these and it happens every time. And I'll be like, yeah, we're waiting on you to answer the question and it never gets answered. So my point is if those young people or those killers or those dealers are coming in there and they listening to that same thing, they're gonna think it's a joke. Because I feel like it's a joke sometimes. The conversations are. They can't, but they have the potential to be so much more. But I feel like if your heart not in it for real and you're not doing it in the right, and your heart ain't in the right place when you're doing it, you're never gonna get the right outcome. You get what I'm saying? So it has the potential to be great. And I think because they have all these resources that they have, these resources that we obviously don't have, but they have because they out here, they getting this stuff just popping up out of nowhere. You got these resources to do it. I think that you're doing it in the wrong place. That's just my personal opinion. If I had the opportunity to sit down and talk to y'all, that's what I would tell you. So if you're watching this, come holler at me, come talk to me, call me, whatever. I'm available. I feel like you have all of these resources and you had this power behind you and affording you to do all of these things. You're in the wrong place because right now school getting ready to start. That's where you need to be putting that ceasefire at. That's where them conversations should be happening. Not at Rubes, not at Vibes, not at none of these other places. That's where those conversations at because 9 times out of 10, them the killers. It's 14 years old. They out here they got pistols. I was at the store the other day, little boy got a pistol. Me and him got a pistol. Oh, shit. I can carry. I'm licensed to carry. However, I learned how to carry. My mentor was there in order for me to carry. That one ain't. If I'd have bumped into him, we'd have drew on each other like we was at the okay corral. That's not okay.
See that?
That's the places that we need to be. Them the people that we need to be talking to. That's where those programs that's getting implemented like that, and you got that power, you got the ability to do that. That's where you need to be doing it at.
Now this is a question for you, Rich. Mm-hmm. Now you the only one sitting up here that's running for council seat. How could you implement what she's talking about? Because I know you a coach, you work with the kids.
Well,
so how could you be working from that council seat to implicate this ceasefire and talking to the kids?
Well, as an individual, I am creating a Wreck on Wheels program to where I'm actually gonna take what the kids want in order to give them what they need. And what I mean by that is I got a traveling music studio, a traveling basketball court, a traveling video editing room. And after we get all of them kids there and we start letting them do what they want to do, we're gonna have a show and tell night to where I will have guys like this come up and introduce his summit and talk to the kids about bullying, about overlooking stuff. And at the same time, I will be trying to open up these, it's 2 schools that I want to open up that's in the 3rd ward. There's one is Jefferson and the other one is Carpenter Road. I don't know what the paperwork and the argument is in between individuals that are trying to get in those buildings. But once those buildings are secured, they are so huge that I know there's room in each one of those buildings for a young adult center to where we can help young males and females that are teenage parents. I also would like to put in like yoga classes to where people can start working on their bodies and getting their mind, and Zumba classes to where people can come in and exercise and have fun. And a must in those buildings, which I tried to, because I was in with the people at the Groom Center. And what happens down there is, you notice I talk about traveling music and videos. If you notice they have those down there, that was in our conversation. So, but the same lady that started them with their beginning grants is the same lady that I'm talking to about getting this Wreck on Wheels going. And just like that program down there was stolen from me, well, I don't even say stolen, because when I did this interview with WDZZ back in '98, the guy was telling me, oh, this is just a marvelous idea, and I was broken than I am now back then. And oh, this is just a wonderful idea, and you know somebody's gonna steal this. I said, you know what? Kids love this. And whenever I get my feet on the ground and decide to push this, there's gonna be kids out there that be waiting on my program. And if these guys want to steal this idea, they better know this is not a free idea. They're gonna earn their money, because if they really set it up right, they are gonna have kids come.
Well, here's the thing about that, Rich. I just feel like we all have like these grand ideas and we busting them out there or whatever. And if they are indeed yours and you want to implement them yourself, keep them to yourself until you're ready to put them out there. Or you work with the people that do it. Or if not, then you don't talk about it being stolen. You just putting it out there for it to be happening.
Well, I'll just put it out there. I'll just put that one out there because if you notice, I'm not running the program down there, but the program is being ran. I'm quite sure that many times I have went in there and I had talked to them if they was willing for me to help implement anything, the hand would have been dealt. Remember, y'all got to remember, I just had a summer basketball team that we had to practice outside in the sun. And you got Burston as a gym, and our team was called Burston, and we were sponsored by Burston. And at the same time, we were practicing outside in the sun. Burston's gym was empty. So you got to realize it's a lot. And as far as me personally, this time from now until November the 2nd is going to be very hard for me. I was trying to do a community, which I'm doing it anyway, but I do a 3rd ward speech every 1st and 3rd Saturday of the month, which is also the day at 12 o'clock. I wanted to host it at Burston. I was told because I'm running for office, it's political, so you can't do it. And what I'm trying to do is bring all of the community in together to where we can bring back, we can start community talking, get our block clubs back. Right. You know, there's a lot of young men out here with bright ideas that put these minds together. I had the guy that run 40 chicken places to Flint and Detroit willing to come and talk to people. I got people from MSU downtown that want to come and talk to people about grants and helping out stuff like that. But I can't use Burston because I'm running for office. Right. But yet we can have the mayor running up in there, You done had all kinds of candidates and different stuff like that, but I can't do it.
Rich, so here. So Rich, basically, what you're saying is you're being blackballed.
Yeah, just like yesterday.
Yeah, it's fine, and I get that.
And maybe
So,
plagiarize.
so if you get, yeah, so here's the thing, again, and I'm saying this specifically to you, for you. All of these things happening to you, what I'm saying to you is you have these ideas, and they are great ideas, and like you say, you can't implement them right now. And so then when you come out, you say, you got stolen from me, you got this, you got that from me. What I'm saying to you is, don't. Keep it to yourself. Because you will get in position to get that stuff going. And if you want it to be solely for you, keep it for you until it's time for it to come out. Ain't no harm in that. Ain't no harm in that at all. I just want to say that to you because there's no harm in that. Don't feel like you got to put it all out there for folks all the time. Especially when you can't get it going. Don't feel like you got to put it all out there for folks all the time because it ain't for them right now. It's for you because God gave that to you, right?
Oh, believe
and so when
me,
He gave it to you,
it's something
That's
up
what
here
I'm
that I
saying.
ain't putting out there, but that
But
right
that's what I'm
there,
saying.
I
Don't
don't
even worry about
mind because think about the kids that are getting help.
okay.
Think
well,
about that I came up with this idea in 1998 and I'm still not doing it to this day. And think about them kids that are now getting help because of that.
Well, that's the thing. So what I'm
So
saying
I would rather sacrifice having them kids in this program now that I have nothing to do with versus that program not be down there and those kids not have something to do.
right.
So
I get it.
I'm willing to take L, just like me running for office.
Okay.
We
gonna talk about that off.
Yeah, I'm willing to take L's.
No, don't say
So
it like that.
it's all good.
We gonna skip off that. We gonna talk about this off camera. We gonna talk about that later. But here's the thing about you want to hold your summits and do all of that. Maybe it's a thing where you use like one of the pavilions or something.
Oh,
that's
I'm still doing it. I'm doing it today at 12.
Listen to me, Rich. Listen to me. Instead of, we gonna have this conversation on camera.
I'm just not using their facilities. I'm still doing it.
We off that. We moving on. We ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about this on camera. So let's get back to the topics at hand and what's going on out here because we have gotten out of hand, Flint.
Right.
It's just everything has got out of hand.
Yeah, he made a good point, and that's one of the things that I hear a lot as when I'm out here conversating with people. Nothing really to do, although it's not too much. We should really want to do a lot because we're still in this pandemic situation. So a lot of things that we used to have coming up, like you said, block clubs, team club, all of that stuff, talent shows. We was at one point in time, this was like we had like almost 1 billion people as our population, I believe. We had all the shops here, GM here, we had Ready for the World, we had groups coming up out of here, we had all the stars, basketball. Flint is a great city. It's a great city. It's a beautiful city. I was born and raised here. And those who are also, as we're talking right now in position in leadership roles, if you've been born and raised here, and as the saying goes, you know better, so you do better. Come on, man. You know where you come from. You know what cloth Flint is cut from. We know how to act. We know how to, treat ourselves way better because we was, like I said, this was a mecca for those of us who was here when Flint was at the top, so we can get back to that. We're going to get back to that. We got to just deal with these issues, get our children together. We got to, like I said, no more violence, not stop it, no more. We're not going to tolerate it no more. So everybody that's on board with that, whatever your agenda is, just as long as it's a genuine agenda and you're coming from your heart and sincere and you're ready to make, the ultimate sacrifice, because people sacrificed for us when we was coming up, for us to be in a way better position than what we in. But now we had issues, water, pandemic, these are serious issues. And these issues alone can take its toll psychologically on everybody. And it has, depression, anxiety, stress, anger, and these issues, they are powder keg for the violence that we have right now.
Definitely,
So, you know,
definitely.
just sticking to that, you know, focus right there of let's get some programs, let's get some things implemented, let's get some help for our community, let's heal our community. We have to start the healing process. And what better way, you know, to start the healing process is to admit that you have an illness. We have an illness. We need to admit that. We need to start healing.
Absolutely. Again, I really think that we need to, I honestly feel that we are targeting the wrong areas. Not necessarily the wrong areas in Flint, but the wrong area of age groups of children. I think that we are too busy focusing on the wrong crowd of people in in the areas that we go. If we go, I think that the younger the better, because we have to start from the bottom up. And I think that we're losing our really young kids because we're focusing up here.
Right.
And I think that if you are better with people up here because you can't deal with people down here, you know, the younger people down here, then that's it. That's why I feel like we all need to come together and we need to be a unit, because maybe it's that Jeff and April can't resonate with those younger people and they only resonate up here, and that's fine and that's great. But you got to get some people with you that can resonate in that middle level, like in the middle schools. Then you got to get some people that resonate with the elementary. They could go to the elementary, right? You have to have somebody that's good in all those areas. Like I am, for instance, when I was coaching, I can't coach little kids, drive me crazy, right? I don't have the patience. I don't have any small children anymore. So that gap in between me, you know, being with young children all the time to up here, I don't have the patience for that type of child anymore, right? To constantly work with them all day, every day, like that, for coaching. I wholeheartedly admit that. So when it was coming in there and they put you in the age groups, I'm like, give me middle school and up. I can't do the elementary day. Because because my children are older, so I don't remember how to reel them in, right? I can't remember how to get them back focused, because you know, as a little kid, you hear and then you, oh shoot, then you over here, then you over here. Right. I don't remember how to do that because it's, my kids are, my baby 15. You get what I'm saying? My baby 15. It's been 15 years since I had to deal with a little one. I can't. Right. So with that being said, I know that's a weakness for me. Not saying that I won't work with them and that I need to work with them, because I will, but you got baby step me into it. You can't just throw me into that pit because I'm gonna fail or I'm gonna get frustrated. I'm gonna be like, I'm out. I can't do it.
Well, how do y'all feel about this? Because I see somebody in the comments. How about open some of these community centers and having to feed the kids?
Oh yeah,
They
So-
do that.
So-
They do that.
But here's the thing. I think that it should be some
lowly advertised.
the meet. What is it called? Meet up, eat
Eat
up.
and eat.
Yeah,
Something
meet up, eat up. That's what it
They
is.
had it for every ward.
They had it all over. They got it in like
do.
2 or 3. They have like in 2 or 3 different places in these wards.
Well, they need to get that out there. That
They
should be
don't.
advertised.
They do. They need to.
Because maybe you can have some of them conversations with the kids there when you feed them.
Well, that's more like right now during this coronavirus. That's when you be seeing them big orange and green bags with the strap. That'll be that. Cause they like come on like 2 or 3 days a week, and they just give you the big old bag to last you to the next day they hand it out.
No.
So maybe when they go back to when we go back to normal, it'll be back to where you can do it. But yeah, they do that, and but still the problem that I see and the argument that I've been having, and it's a big argument, is the difference between program kids and non-program kids.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be ignoring. They use the non-program kids to get the money conversation started, but then they use the program kids to keep the money coming in. And what I mean by that, while these kids are out, and these kids that are out doing these 12, 13, 14-year-old kids that are out doing these crimes and stuff, being in the wrong lane.
Mhm.
They're not in these programs that they have.
Right.
So, but their stories.
They don't even want to hear the word.
Yeah, their stories is what they're using to take to the people to get the grant money.
Right.
That's just the same thing that's going on with this violence going on now. They got the helicopter, they got the, but they haven't, but they used our stories to get all of this, but none of this is really gonna stop us from doing what we're doing.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, and then that got to be coming in. And then like, just like at Burston right now need air conditioner in the gym, but they also need an activity room to where as long as Burston is open, any one of these kids in walking distance have a place inside of Burston. Not, okay, you're a part of this dance class and your dance class is now you are allowed in the building. You are part of this program that we have here, which they do have a couple of good programs. And I'm not against programs. I want to make that clear. I am not against programs, but I need, with the focus, also need to go on the kids that are not program kids. And another thing, most of the programs end, really they end at 12 because a 13 and a 14-year-old ain't trying to get out of school and go to these after school programs. But they are 14 and under. But most 13 to 14s, even if they are in a good lane, that good lane involves just go home and play on your computer all day. It does not go to this after school program, but then you got these other kids with all this energy and they don't have a place to go.
So maybe that should be a thing, right? The program, one of those programs for those other kids that like to do that is coding. Learning how to build your own video game. Learning how to work with it. Like those are the things, if that's what
we need to bring that school here.
Listen, hold on. But that's the thing. Like those are the programs that you're talking about, and those are the kids. So with that being said, we got to get in the mindset of thinking about that. So you just said that, but however, you didn't hit no program that would work with it. So my point is, why don't we gotta get somebody, go down there and get somebody from Kettering, get some of them students from Kettering to come down and teach them how to build their own video game.
Keep something to myself, then you gonna spill something. I still love you though. Golly.
You brought it up. I
didn't spill it all out.
Don't bring it up.
Oh.
I apologize, Rich.
That's what I feel.
Cut that out.
Them schools.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got all these open school buildings that ain't nobody using.
Right.
Why you cannot turn that, like you say, with the
all
kids?
kinds of activity
They playing video games, right? But let's build the things they can have. Why we ain't got a game room?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And here's the thing. I think we need to do that. We can put our own video games in there, and they can have their own Madden tournaments, their own 2K tournaments, right?
But
right there with us, it is
the catch to it. You have to come do your homework.
Absolutely.
Maybe you come there for 2 hours. You have to do a program. Right. Then we'll give you the other 2 hours. Y'all play the video game.
Absolutely.
But you do have you have to take a program. If you're gonna do it.
I went.
You gotta go to study hall.
I would want to go a step further. I would want all of those opportunities to be there, but I want to treat everybody just like we do our athletes during that season. Every Friday, you need a progress report. You need every one of your teachers sign this progress report, and you need to bring that progress report to us with your mama's signature on the bottle. Your mama's signature on the bottle certifies that you are allowed to be a part of our program.
So is the progress report for grades, or is the progress report just saying
the progress report tell you everything. It tells you how good your child been.
So that's my thing. So do they get punished for that?
Hold on, Rich, but that's not a step further. What I'm saying is, just say the kids' grades is bad. You still can come there because you're gonna have an after school program to help with that. Don't just shut them up.
That was my point. That was my point.
If your mama is gonna sign that signature when you got bad grades and you're not bringing your grades up according to her, then that's cool. But if your mama say, no, you cannot go to this program until you start bringing your grades up, then we need to honor what their parents say.
Right, Rich, but here's the thing about that, here's the thing. For instance, you say that, I'm gonna be devil's advocate. Some of the parents gonna sign that just because they wanna get the kids out their face, period. That's not the help. That's not helping. What I'm saying is, even if they do bring that progress report and it's not good, you know, whatever, we can't say they can't be in this program. We can't do that. What we need to do is to have, in those areas where they're having trouble at, those are the things that we highlight for them to do, right? So if your English, you bring your progress report to me, right? Your math is good, your science is good, all this other stuff is good, but your English is tanked, right? That should not be the thing to say you can't come to the program, right? But that's what I need to highlight with you when you come. Okay, so yep, you're gonna do this, and you wanna do what today? Oh, you want a 2K? You wanna do the 2K tournament today? Okay, well, you can do the 2K tournament today, but your focus today is your English today. So now we gonna have a tutor. You're gonna go in that room, and so you gotta go to the English room for an hour, or you gotta go to the English room for an hour. And when you go to the English room for an hour after you do your hour in that day, you can go.
And
Right.
then
Your thing is math. Oh, okay, you have an issue with math, you gotta go to the math room for an hour, and then you can go. We can't do that, Rich. We can't say,
And you know,
because it gotta be open.
You don't.
And you don't wanna deter nobody.
Yeah, you don't wanna exclude.
Absolutely.
But let me add on. I have done this before, and let me tell you something. You're gonna be surprised at, number one, when I first started, I had some kids that wasn't going to school. And their mama wasn't finding out that they wasn't going to school until the progress report came that showed it was too late. So, number one, that group of kids instantly changed because all of a sudden all their attendance had to change. Now, let's go to the number two change. I'm just talking about from the kids' perspective. Let's go about the ones that wasn't doing so good in school. They feel the same way about their mama finding out they not going to school as they looking at their report card. And so they wanted to do more. They wanted to reach out and get extra help that they needed to catch up and further themselves. They started taking more pride in themselves.
But
We can't put all kids in that box.
But you
Rich.
talking about basketball.
No, I'm just talking about, this was just a normal youth club.
But you gotta understand that it's the normal youth club, but you have to understand that some kids that have the passion for playing ball is gonna do whatever to get on that court.
Yep.
Whether it be getting my grades up, going to school or whatever, they have the passion for it because it's in them and it's a fire burning in them. What I'm saying is for these children that the fire them physical, they don't have that. So they don't give a damn about none of that. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. But my point is,
like that fight.
But that's how you do it. You don't say, you gotta have this and you come in here and you can't do this and we gotta honor this. No, because here's my thing, is that we gotta start the fire. We gotta light it back up. And that's the way you light it, right? You say, yeah, you can be a part of this, but we gotta focus on this part. If they accept it and they want to do it, then that's fine. If they don't do it, we can't force them, but we got to give it out there. But we can't just, I get what you're saying, because that's why I said I'm playing devil's advocate.
So what you're saying is, we can determine whether or not they can be in the program, but their parent can't. Because you saying that we saying that do this.
You said, wait, say that again?
Because what you're saying is, we can say that they can, because they gotta do this, they gotta do this in order to do this. We can say that, but the parent can't say.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we should make that the stipulation. I'm saying that we shouldn't make that the stipulation for if the parent don't want them to be a part of the program, then that's law. I can't let your child be a part of the program. That's law. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I don't think that the thing should be if your grades should be at a certain level or this and that. I'm saying that if it is in that capacity, then we still let them be involved, but we just highlight on the issue.
We had those, and see, And another thing, what I'm saying is, all of those, like, kids will come up to you like, hey man, I need help in this. I want to do better in this. They will come and push themselves. First, they just need to show, number one, that somebody cares, somebody looking at them. As long as you can escape and half step, they're going to escape and half step.
Absolutely.
They're looking for some love and somebody to pay them some attention.
You said, you see, no,
And that's why you don't deter.
both of those are great ideas. It's just a matter of just ironing out a few.
Yeah, iron out
That's
the
it.
truth, yeah.
That's it. Not because we never want to be in a position where we exclude.
And that's definitely what, and see, that's the reason why I said the parent discretion. Because you don't know that the parent, we may say we have a eligibility line that maybe that parent knows this is the reason why my child ain't reached this level.
One thing that's you hear quite often, well, you really don't hear it quite often anymore, but we need to get back to it where it says it takes a village to raise a child.
Kid.
So we don't want to have, it has to be a coalition between the parent and the program, and the teachers. Everybody should be focused on the concern and the care of that child, all those children. That's, we don't want to, we got to get away from that, because that's kind of threw us for a loop too, when they said that you can only do this to your children in your household.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of that shouldn't have never happened, but it did happen, because now we have a generation right now that we dealing with. We went through like a couple generations. We went through the babies having babies, and now we're in the generation of the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Where we go?
The
We
baby
go
with no
1,
guidance.
16,
Right, the baby
30,
with no
40,
guidance.
no guidance.
48.
No, seriously, seriously, man. This is getting to the core of where we at with our issues.
Yep.
It is that serious. It's not nothing no more, man, that we can just write off as trivial. Oh, we don't. Oh, no, they all right. Nah, because we see the after effect. You know what I'm saying? We see the byproduct of it through this violence. This is what we are getting out of not, blaming ourselves or accusing our parents. No, people work with what they, and they only work with what they.
And we gotta help these folks, and I need help with this too, because our satisfaction and our shine level is a little bit too high. Because seriously, some of these young men out here dying with $50,000 and $60,000 in their pocket.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are growing up with the fantasy of living to blow money and flying, and we just honestly, and then the worst part about it, then you got your people that try to do good that ain't making no money. So some kind of way we gotta help those people that ain't making no money. We gotta bring them up, and we gotta get this satisfaction level settled down.
Education is the key. Is the foundation, like the program you and Queen were just discussing about, as far as for the children, giving them the right incentive under the right circumstances to where they getting to learn how to have fun in life, but they most importantly, they're learning their math, they're learning their English, they're learning you gotta have education.
They set themselves up for a brighter future.
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell, because all the kids is somebody younger than you, no matter who you is. And please show them something positive. If you are negative, don't show somebody younger than you that negative side. Only show them the positive, and hopefully we can work it out, and eventually we can have a generation of kids that only know good. Because right now, kids are overexposed to nonsense and violence.
Yeah, I talked about that earlier, as far as like the subliminal messages and the jargon that they're getting from,
everything.
But that's a money thing. You know what I'm saying? That's big corporation, that's big business.
You see what I'm saying?
Entertainment. But where we can't accept it any further is when, you go through your phase or whatever, but when you reach a certain age again, come on, man, you're trying
to get back.
Right. It's time
to give back.
So that being said, Rich, I think the answer to your question is, well, some of it is resources. So we got people out here that are not getting any money and doing anything. It's resources, and that's coming from downtown. So y'all downtown gotta get on your shit. Give us something. Open up some of these buildings. Let us put some stores in it. Whatever. Give us the resources to learn how to do some things. And with that being said, Hamady, as a gentleman at Hamady, I'm sorry I can't think of his name, but y'all look it up. He is starting a program right now for children. That to learning how to do construction, and it's open, and it's even open to folks up to 21. Y'all look into that. More information on that to come. I was trying to look it up right quick, but I didn't. I couldn't find it at the moment, but I will, and I'll share that probably Monday on the Monday drop, or I'll post it in the on the page. That's a good thing that's coming up, and we need to do more of that. This was a great conversation. We need to just make sure that we implement this, but more than that, we need to put our foot on the necks of those people that's holding that money downtown in order for us to get it.
I got
and for us
plans
to
for
do that. And that's what we need to do.
I got plans for it.
So, again, this was a great conversation. We enjoyed it very much. I appreciate you gentlemen coming on.
Yeah,
And I hope, Brother Roberts, that we did you justice for your community conversation. I know it's not as structured as you are, but that's why you the king of this.
Amen.
I'm just standing in the gap. So I'm working. I'm yet working.
The queen did good.
Thank you. So you all come and see us. Join us again. We'll be back live Monday for the Monday drop. 7 o'clock. We'll see y'all then. Again, this is Rich Jones and his brother Anthony. Now, Tara.